Bless everyone. It's Ross Kalev. And in this video, I want to chime in. What about? About the Mashiach. Alright? Quite simply, would you follow the Mashiach? A lot say today that we would. We can look in the past and go, I would have been the one who would have been there with them. While the majority, 99% of the world was against him. And even those who were with him had some doubts, So, I want to bring up, two sides of this coin. One, what's life like for the Mashiach? And two, what are the type of people who are actually following the Messiah? Okay? So to begin this, I want to just start with Matthew chapter 8, and let's go ahead and let's start verse 19. All right? A certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee wherever thou goest. A scribe, so he's like an Israelite, right? Like Israelite today, like someone a straight way, or like Pastor Dow, or following Yeshua, someone like that who you look at and go, all right, they got land, they got a community, they got people, they look at them, you could tell, things. And he says, I will follow you, Yeshua, wherever you go, right? Most people think this way, Women today, I'll follow Christ wherever he go. I'm with Christ, right? They're single, or men say, I'll follow you, Christ, wherever you go. But, they focus on money and all these things. So this is what Jesus said to him. And Yeshua said unto him, the fox have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head. All right, so what does that mean? He was telling them straight without telling them. He was saying, look, you say you're going to follow me everywhere. I have nowhere to go. I'm homeless. I have nowhere to lay my head. There's nowhere for the Son of Man to rest, right? So you're going to follow me now? All right? That's all he had to say. People ain't going to follow him. So, this is then and now, all right? Because we know he comes back in the flesh again, all right? So, would you follow Christ knowing that he has nowhere to live? He has no home. He has no house. He has no community. He don't even really have followers, right? So would you follow him? I doubt it, especially as a woman. Women today, they add to the scripture. They say a man should provide a house and a home when in truth, the man is the house, his lineage, right? So we know majority of men today would not follow the Mashiach, as well as a higher majority of women, right, for that comfortability. But I'm going to keep going a little bit because I want to bring out some other scriptures about this, So we're going to jump into Isaiah 53:3 real quick, because this individual, if you were to see him or meet him, you would, you probably wouldn't think it's him. As in Isaiah 53:3 says, he's a man of grief. He's a man of sorrows. Is my rasta. So he's full of grief and sorrows. He's been through nothing but persecutions, and hatred for being innocent, right? This is that individual. So could you imagine, say, being an individual who has nothing, he's homeless, and everyone continuously attacks him and points a finger at him as if he's the wrong one, So I want you guys just to look at these scriptures, and read them yourself and just get some context, because, let's go to another scripture. Let's go to Isaiah 49, okay? And what you'll find in Isaiah 49, we'll go to verse 7, okay? That's the heart of Jah, the heart of flesh, not a heart of stone, okay? And so he says, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him who man despises, and to him who the nation abhors, right? He says, he shall choose thee. So this individual, the Christ, the Son of Man reborn again, he is despised by all people. He's even hated by his own nation, okay? Judah, Israel, all right? For knowing what others are unwilling to know, okay? So this is a suffering individual, right? A suffering servant, who has a heart of gold, right? He has a heart of flesh, not a heart of stone, all right? And, just think, what are the reasons why he would be rejected by his own nation, his own people and the world? Obviously, a lot of people who come to the truth, you see what happens when you come to the truth being rejected, right? But it's another thing by your own family, your own nation, right? And so, part of this you can look at yourself in Matthew 25:43, where Christ says himself, I came as a stranger, right? So Christ says, I came as a stranger. Okay, what does that mean? That means probably his father's lineage is different, right? He also says he came without clothes, right? Poor, nothing. I don't know if you guys have been without, without clothes, without a home, without these certain things, to see, even in prison, he's been in prison, right? So, some people will look at someone who say has charges on their name and they'll say, oh, they criminal because Babylon say so, But others who are aware of the truth realize that Babylon's a criminal, right? So there's all these persecutions going on with this individual, but the Most High blesses him. As we read in the last chapter of Isaiah, the prophecy of Isaiah 66, verse 2, the Most High says, where is this place, in which I will dwell? Where is this temple that you built for me? Have I not created all these things? And all these people building up their, their own tabernacles and their own communities, and Joh's not there. John says, to this one will I look, a poor one of contrite heart, a humble one, to uplift those of the humble and contrite heart. Lift from the bottom up, right? To bring the mountains low and the valleys up high, right? That's the one who Jah chooses. That's who Rastafari chooses. That's who his son is. So just think about all these things that this individual, in this incarnation is dealing with, right? So just be aware, be in your heart, Jah people, because, how could you receive someone like that unless you're humble? How could you help someone like that unless you're humble? How could you see that person for who he truly is unless you're humble? And you have the eyes of God, the ears of God, the mouth of God, the heart of God, right? So that's the stigma that's on the individual today. So if you know anyone like that, help them, bless them, because he's going through a lot for everyone, right? He carries the transgressions of everyone else. He is rejected because of what others don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's the heart of flesh. That's the whole heart, the Lev, the Kalev, the spirit of the heart. Give thanks for life. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Read those scriptures, man, and leave some comments, any ideas you have or anything else. Bless all those who strive for truth and right in these times during Babylon persecution. Babylon is going down. The queendom of harlots is going down. Hopefully they don't ban my channel for that. All right, bless.